Hey there, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting Indie Agency News, our mission. Serve independent agencies and the brilliant people behind them. Thank you to our members. And thank you to our preferred partners. You'll see in the little corner there. Goodway Group, our latest preferred partner. A quick reminder here, we only partner with companies that genuinely help Indie Agency News members thrive. So no fluff here, proven results. Before they even come on board, we want to make sure that they're doing the right thing for independent agencies, especially our members. So let's talk about Goodway Group. Here's a reality check. When your agency goes after bigger media business, you might hit some walls, talent gaps, you got some black box tech, fear of overpromising. This is where Goodway Group shines. So they're helping over 75 indie agencies, including Left Hand Agency, Indie Agency News member, in the home city of Portland, Oregon. They win like holdcos without the overhead. They're supporting your pitch strategy, bringing over 100 certified media experts, run campaigns flawlessly, or support your in-house teams. Super consultative, which is probably what you need right now. And they've got transparent access to the trade desk, Walmart's DSP, measurement services, and their fraud-busting media buying technology. And they deliver 28% more client budget to working media. That's going to make your clients happy. You want proof? Visit goodwaygroup.com/indie-agencies-unite for a complimentary media audit. Now, I'm going to make this even easier for you. So go to our page, go to the current preferred partners, and you'll be able to see Goodway Group and look at that. The one pain point that they solve, how they help your agency, the proven outcomes. There's that 28% ago. But you can get right to scheduling a call, or you can learn more. Again, you're going to be going to that indie-agencies-unite page, and that's right there. Thank you, Goodway Group, for supporting this mission, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for your support of Indie Agency News, and let's meet an indie agency. We're heading to the Heartland. I love the Heartland. You know, I'm originally from Minnesota. Did you know that?
No.
Did not know that. It's new.
Wait, no, I think I did know that from when you were on our podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So I was born there, lived there till I was 12. And then I moved to suburban Philadelphia, New Jersey when I was 12. And so, you know, with that Minnesota accent going to New Jersey, you can imagine the fun. People will be like, yeah, you got a funny accent. Like, oh, I do I? you and your Wooder ice. Yeah, exactly. But we got the gang from BarkleyOKRP here and MissionOne Media. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Sean will give us the skinny on that. But first of all, thank you so much for being members. You're OG members. Which I really, really appreciate. This time last year, 2024, we were just muddling along, but your support means a lot to us as we continue to grow. So thank you so much for that. And I do want to point out that I was at Cannes, and I was extraordinarily honored to go to the dinner that Katy co-hosted with Cleo. With our good friend Nicole Purcell. Honestly, like, no bullshit, that was definitely like one of the, if not the highlight of the week. It was so nice to go to a villa, to chill with people that I love, and the vibes were fantastic. So thank you for all of that. And
thanks for being there.
It was really, really great. It was really, really cool. So let's start with this. Let's start with the agency background. Give us a little bit of the thumbnail. And I know obviously with the merger and the changes, there's a bit more to the story, but give us a little bit of the thumbnail.
I'll try to do it in like 60 seconds or less. How's that sound?
No, you can do what you want.
Okay. So we were once Barkley and OKRP, and about a year and a half ago, we became Barkley OKRP. And then we took what was a media team and branded it into a full-blown media offering in MissionOne Media. So as we stand today, we are over 700 folks across 5 different offices: Kansas City, Chicago, New York, Austin, and Denver. And we really bill ourselves as what we call scale meets soul. So the ability to have real scale, to have a full breadth of capabilities, as well as to make sure that we maintain and protect the soul of our agency, making sure that we're always thinking about what that indie element that makes us special and how do we keep it alive and well inside of the agency that we're building.
And I have to say this. So when I was at Adweek and at the Drum, whenever I would see work coming from either Barkley or OKRP, it was one of those things where I was like, all right, cool. like this is going to be some really, really good work. And so I think that, Katy, correct me if I'm wrong, that when you talk about the soul, it's like, obviously, Sean is building something very special in terms of horsepower, for lack of a better term, on that side of it. But I mean, I think obviously the work is still very, very strong. And that's such an incredibly important part of it, because both agencies have traditionally been so strong creatively. Now you add this other layer to it. How do those conversations happen internally? Because it is important to maintain a balance in all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sean for sure should chime in here, but I will say on Sean's behalf, I think one of the most special parts of what Sean is building and what we're building collectively is actually media that is horsepower, but also lives up to this scale and soul piece. We really believe that if we do this right, 1 + 1 = 3. So not only the ideas and where they show up, but the media as an idea. And that, like, in a lot of places that gets lost because there's too many people involved and everybody's got their own agenda. And so, the way that MissionOne Media plays into Barkley OKRP is really additive and is horsepower, but also ideas.
Yeah. And I think let's go back to the day, Sean. So remember in media back in the day when we were like, New York Times has a skyscraper. Oh, it's just like, there's this going, oh, yeah. But I feel like that the conversation, and we're going to break format a little bit. I'll get back to like the standard questions we ask people, but I want to break format a little bit here. I don't know if we're having the conversation enough about creative media and the importance of really looking at media as such a deep creative element of that, Sean. So what's your take on that? And where do you think it's headed? And then specifically through the lens of Barkley OKRP, why it's important to maintain that creative sauce, as it were.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we went through this really weird process in the last decade, 15 years or whatever, where media went from being, I think part of that at times, like I come out of Mediahub and we were part of Mall Alone. It was a big focus for us for a long time to have a really big, creative capability within media. But, we kind of went through this kind of plumbing process. That's kind of a joke we have about it. It's like media became about platforms, connecting data, targeting, addressable, all this stuff. And it gained a lot of, I think, power, big seat at the table because of that, but kind of left the humans behind. I always talk about that. The people are kind of left behind. When you sit with a media person, they rarely talk about the person on the other side of the screen. Like that does not come out. Creative still talks about that. I think they're often a step behind the front lines, where a lot of like Google is connecting to, you're trying to manage Google data and Amazon data and all these things and try to measure it all and ROI, all these things that are happening, conversations in the industry. And you see Axioms and Epsilons and all these things are being purchased for billions of dollars and, built into platforms or whatever. And, I think we kind of now coming into a world, there's Gen AI, obviously. It only took us 3 minutes for somebody to say it. And be like, but I think we've almost come in this full circle thing where now suddenly you have to start talking about that again, which is like the creatives and the creative and the media people have been talking about trying to bring that together for so long, and some have been successful at it, but it feels like now it's like I can help bring the infrastructure over to creative, but also participate again in the creative process. So I think there's a little bit of both happening there, and I think that's part of the real excitement of being able to build this.
Right. I did my stint at IPG.
I did 13 years. It was great. Love them.
Sure. We'll go with that. Nate.
Yes, sir.
I know. I love my people. I love the Martin. I was at the Martin agency. I really liked it. I really had a great time.
Good place to go.
Yeah, exactly. So Nate, clearly this agency does a lot of things. Now, every agency has, and in your case, a very long and deep and dense list of strengths and solutions that you provide for brands and for clients. What would you say are the top 3 that rise to the top? in your mind? And great eyewear, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Represent the glasses.
Sean, you and I just we can't follow that.
These are Amazon readers. I can't.
I mean, we're these. Yeah,
find them. I just grab what I can so I can see.
Yeah, Nate, this is just me stalling for time so you can get your answer right.
Well, I appreciate
it.
No, I mean, not to be a broken record, but it does come back to at least the philosophy of scale with soul. Katy likes to say, and we all really live it every day. Every decision we make is how do we make sure we're injecting soul in every part of our agency. So when it comes to our strengths, I'd kind of list them all as sub points of that one ethos. Integration is so important to us. Katy spoke to it, Sean spoke to it, but the idea that creative and media and strategy and all of our other services are additive to each other. They don't compete. It's not about finding a balance. It's about bringing them all together, putting people in a room, and making something better than each individual vertical could make by themselves is something we live every day. And every time, we're able to kind of push it even further, that's the most rewarding thing to us. At the center of that is we've built a really good strategy practice with a concept that we call the red thread. It's a very simple idea. It's an idea that many people practice. We've branded it. We've got our own way about it, but we have a single idea that ties everything else together. And what that does is it creates ideas and brand ethoses that travel across the organization, both internally. So it's easy for a CMO to turn to their counterparts and say, guys, this is what we're going for. This is how you can bring your department, your activities into the marketing, a single marketing force. And then obviously externally, and that we are a fully integrated full service agency where we can deliver on CRM and social and media and PR and, all the things,
right?
TV campaigns. And then the last thing is, and we talk a lot about this, we give a shit. Like,
right.
It's just, it's one of those things that sometimes we take it for granted, but we care about our clients. We care about our clients' business. We care about each other. We care about making great work, and we're able to get to pretty human relationships and conversations with clients and each other pretty quickly. And that just cuts through a lot of the nonsense and a lot of the crosstalk that tends to get in the way of good work. We kind of just strip it all down and treat each other like humans and do best by our clients and each other.
God, crosstalk. That's a great way of putting it. One thing I just noticed, I'm going to have to go back and check, but I think this might be the first show that we've done where everybody's first name has 4 letters.
Oh,
that was actually a mandate.
No, I mean,
the team.
My proper name is
not with full names. And then
no, I know. It's like
I like the shortened.
Well, no, I'm Douglas, but that's only when I'm in trouble.
Oh, technically, I'm Catherine.
Right. So.
No, not right, Doug. No one else is named Catherine.
Wait,
why?
I think it's a fun name. I think it's unique, it's special.
I'm learning.
Is it spelled differently than like a Catherine?
Yeah, it's spelled like Kathleen and Catherine had a baby. It's terrible.
I didn't know that. I can't believe I'm learning this right now.
Are you native from Kansas City?
St. Louis, but still.
Oh, well, that explains it.
No, it's never been explained to me. Never, not once.
No, that's okay. That's all right. I like that. Well, listen, we're going to stick with you, Katy. And you and I have talked about this a lot over the years. Why is being indie important to you, and why is it important to the agency and the team?
You know what? I have always loved being at Barkley and then BarkleyOKRP because of sort of the ethos and the energy of the agency. And I think that being here 13 years, I probably took it for granted over that time, what independence had allowed to make possible. And so I would say in the last 18 months and growing the agency and talking to a lot of different people and hiring people and bringing new people in, it's just become so abundantly clear to me how much it truly helps us determine our own destiny. What are we going to invest in? How are we going to go after it? Where do we allow ourselves to get out over our skis, and where are we more responsible with certain things? And let's us just make those decisions that help us build the agency that we can be proud to be a part of. And then the other part is just the ability to continue to have that that soul piece, like the more that we interview people and people who have come from holdcos or come from agencies that they're not really proud to be a part of, you get this sense that that center of gravity that matters the most, the people, the heart of a place, the way that people are treated, the way that they're brought together, or the way that they think about their clients, it just all gets lost in this need to like make more money or make faster decisions or, bring on another client. And it's just, you start to wonder, like, why do you show up every day? And why do you care about what you do as an individual if you don't feel like you're part of something that cares about you on some level? And so I think that's what makes it matter to us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that the discussion around independence has changed in a good way, because if you think about it, back in the day, and we're all a little seasoned, some of us more than others, look at the color of my hair. We're more agile, but I don't know if an indie can necessarily claim that anymore. Anyone, a lot of people can at least logically claim it to some degree, but I think there's an increasing sophistication in understanding what independence actually means. It's things like, we don't work for math companies. We can be agnostic in media. There are just so many other pieces to this that are evolving the thinking, because I think it was such a reductive way of putting it, but I think it is more nuanced. What do you think are some of and this is a jump ball for all three of you, what do you think are some of the elements now about the discussion of independence and independent agencies that are important for brands, especially, and CMOs to understand and learn?
Can I add one thing just before?
Yeah,
Sean? I'll totally turn it over
ahead.
to Sean and Nate. But one thing that I don't feel a lot of people talk about, this is going to feel so like the move from CCO to CEO, the fact that I want to mention this, but like that we don't report our numbers quarterly. That shift, the fact that there isn't quarterly pressure to the quote unquote street to prove what we're doing, and then whether or not we need to make changes in our business based on that, the ability to have the grace of a timeline that is our own is huge. And the other piece is the ability for us to define how we look at our business, i.e. we have one P&L. So one P&L for media, one P&L for creative, strategy, PR, et cetera. That is really, it's core to what helps us define how we choose success and what we do with, really with the company. And Sean can fill in more on the one P&L piece, but I do think it's a really essential choice that we've made, that it maximizes our independence.
Right. Sean, the ball's in your court.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will say, as the person who came most recently from a holdco, and I honestly think the people there, I love them, and I wish them well.
I know. We do too. I know.
And I'm into something here is that they're going to get sucked into a bigger machine, and those machines have to operate a certain way. I think what I love about the indie thing is I can unapologetically be an agency, like an agent for my client, and that allows me to have no bias. It allows me to have, and I still think agility is there and allows us to give a shit and do that work in a way that like is good work. Why I got into this business, why so many people did get into this business is like, I can go do that now. And even in the world of AI and tech and all the things, platforms, whatever, Google's, Microsoft's, all those things, you can still do that, I think, at an indie much easier than you can at these big machines that are often public. To Katy's point, is like these public companies are being compared to Meta or Salesforce or Adobe for right or for wrong. They just are, and they have to chase these margins and all these things, and it just becomes a big machine. Their focus becomes something else. We can still very much focus on the client. And a service company, I don't have to deliver some insane margin at the expense of my client's work or whatever. I don't have to chase that as much.
Yep.
That is really critical. And again, why I think a lot of us got into a creative or innovative focused business versus, like I always say, like media can be like bad Wall Street. It's like, why would I do bad Wall Street? Like, just I would have went to good Wall Street if I wanted to, some of the stuff that you're doing.
There's a good Wall Street.
Commissions and, stealing, putting your hand in the stream. Like, you might as well have just gone all the way, right? So bad Wall Street's not a place I want to be. It's like you want to go in and do some stuff at the end. We want, hey, I did that stuff. Not the, hey, you know what I did? I did some principal buying for the last 5 years and stole some money from my client. Like that's a tough, tough thing to remember that you did when
I get it. Nate, next question for you. And you've covered quite a bit about this. All three of you have. But What would you say what is the main reason a brand should work with you? And also, or you can frame it this way. What's one piece of like, whoa, feedback from a brand where you go, all right, yeah, we're doing the right things here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have covered it a fair amount here, but just to recap, we are very invested in our clients' business. We are designed to be invested in our clients' business. We give a shit about not just their performance in the marketplace, how they grow, but how they work together. Also, we have the luxury of really caring about the quality of work that we do, and how it connects with consumers. Sean talked about how a lot of times companies, especially media, doesn't think about who's on the other side of the screen. We spend so much time speaking with consumers, empathizing with consumers, getting inside their heads, what they're thinking, how they behave. We take a lot of pride in understanding our client's audience better than anyone else and celebrating them, frankly, more so than we have seen at other agencies. So the investment that we have, not just in the business outcomes, not just in the client's internal space, but in the consumers that we're on the hook for talking to every day, and being able to provide them with things that are effective advertising, but also can be a little bit brighter, be a little bit more interesting, give them things to play with and that are entertaining out in the world. It's something we take very seriously, and we do it in a fun way. But it really matters to us.
No, I know. I get it. I've known Katy a while. I know. By the way, Katy, and I mean this, and I said this in Cannes, we knew you had it in you to be CEO. So a big mazel to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was just, I remember like back in the day, we were like, Katie's gonna she's gonna keep going. So yeah. So we love that. We love seeing that. And if I were a betting man, which I am, I'm half Italian. So and if I could bet on it, I would have bet on it.
Anybody green is just a winner.
Yeah, exactly. I was
You're
destined for it with that name.
Human.
Right. Well, I mean,
Born for greatness.
Yeah. What's your middle name then?
Elizabeth. Just straight up.
Geez.
I know.
Royalty. All right. I'm going to stay with you, Katy. Why should talent be putting the agency on their list?
I have given this speech probably 100 times every time I've ever recruited someone, but I still mean it. And the best part is I still mean it 13 years into this agency. I really found the thing that drives me is being part of building something. And I think if there are people who want to be part of building something, like we have this ideas over egos value, and we really, really mean that. So it's like, come here, want to be amazing, want to do incredible work, but want to do it inside the context of a collaborative team and be part of feeling like you're operating inside of wet clay that you are allowed to help us mold. I think that's the opportunity, to look back a year from now, 2 years from now and go, holy shit, I got to be a part of that. And not only be a part of it, but I got to help figure out where it was going and be part of it, really maturing into something even better and even more exciting. Those are the type of people we're looking for. And the people who really get pumped about that, they want to be here and they want to be part of it.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I like the fact that you've built consistency into that, because it could be very easy to move from that. But I love that that's been a consistent and a constant for you. And that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Who am I gonna throw under the bus on the Nate? I'm gonna throw you under the bus.
Easy target.
What?
Just an easy target over here.
No. Well, it depends. Who's your football team?
I grew up outside of Boston, so.
Oh, all right. Well, fuck off. I'm an Eagles fan. Do you? Huh?
So we've been bad lately.
Well, it's been very enjoyable to watch that. Do you consider yourselves weirdos, misfits, or underdogs, and why is that?
I think we're underdogs. I think we've got. We're typically at our best when we've got something to prove. It's kind of the fun thing about owning. We very proudly own that we're from the Midwest, and lean into the fact that people call the Midwest flyover states. We like being underestimated. We love showing up on the big stage and, showing that the Midwest has got some heat. There's lots of other agencies that can prove that out too. But yeah, we love it. We've identified very strongly with kind of the core of our agency not being from the coast.
Yeah. And I love it. I mean, I said heartland at the beginning of this, but but the word that there is a lot of heart in that part of the world. Right. And for a brand that hasn't experienced it, try it. Seriously. Like, see what it's about, because it is hard to explain until you're in it. And once brands understand that, they're like, I get this and I love this. So no, I love that. I love that you lean into that. Sean, Katy, does that track for you?
1000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said earlier, I think a disarming challenger is what I like to think of.
A disarming.
I came from a hardcore challenger. It was like, Boston punch you in the face agency.
Which I appreciate. And I love Boston.
Yeah. Well, except the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's okay. But, for us, I think when I came here, it was like, wow, these people are great. Super kind, smart as hell, doing great stuff. But there is a little bit of like, we're here to prove ourselves, underdog approach. And, who doesn't want that?
Right.
That from you're like, oh shit, that came from the side, like.
Right.
Didn't see that coming.
No, and here's what I'm going to caveat. Boston's one of my favorite places in the world, but I hate your sports teams. Accept it. Just accept it. Accept it.
You want to start talking about Chiefs? Because that's
no.
I don't.
Well, we kicked their ass. I will say though that the Philly and Boston thing, I do, even though I've been in Portland, Oregon for over 33 years, I have a little chip on my shoulder. Yeah. And that's probably the Philly thing. You know what? Portland actually has a chip on its shoulder. It's a little passive aggressive.
Yes. But
it's a chip. It's the passive aggressive chip. Brief aside, we're thinking of a game show that we're going to do, and I think we're going to do it live, and it's going to be called the Passive Aggressive Hour, and the only agencies allowed to participate are from Portland and Seattle.
I was going to say I'm out. I've always said I
no,
hate passive aggressive. I will take aggressive any day.
And by the way, to my Portland and Seattle friends, please just take it with a wink. We all know, like, I can be that way sometimes, and so I'm just saying that. It'll be fun. That's why it's called the Fun Hour. Whether they are a current client or not, which CMO or marketer do you want to say hi to? We're going to go around the horn here. Sean, you're going to go first.
Oh, I didn't know we were each doing this.
You don't have to. Do you want me to stall for you?
I can say hi to our client, Nicole Atsuja, because she's been a great partner. We did some really great AI work with her. So I'm going to stick with the current client and say hi to her.
Okay, great. Nate?
I'll give a shout out to Joel at Burger King. He's new. He's just come in and he's pushing it. We love it.
Yeah. By the way, that jingle, legendary.
The jingle slaps.
No, it remains legendary. No, here's the thing. Slaps is, and I was in hip hop for 5 years.
Sure.
So, I mean, I look it, but I was in hip hop radio for 5 years. Loved it. Slaps can be very perishable. Legendary means it endures. So it slaps at the beginning, but then it becomes legendary. Katy, over to you.
I'm going with another Nicole. So Nicole at Red Lobster. I mean, if you're following along with anything that's happening at Red Lobster right now.
Love Red Lobster.
I mean, it's been the most amazing story to be a part of. Nicole came in as a CMO. She's brave. She came on board and helped. And we helped all work together to get Demola, who is like a dream CEO. And
I was just going to say,
him being on TV, he is just like
the best,
incredible. And the brand is killing it, both in the numbers and in culture and all the things that matter. So,
right.
Yay, Nicole.
maybe don't try all you can eat shrimp. Try the bread instead. That's cheaper. Olive Garden figured that one out.
English shrimp is out.
No, I know.
Spend less shrimp is in.
Yeah. No one needs that much shrimp anyway, unless you're on a cruise. Because it's been scientifically proven that when you're on a cruise and you eat 18 pounds of shrimp a day, for some reason, the sea air helps it. Helps it digest quicker. Yeah, it's going to show up on the internet as fact sometime. But here is the fact. You all are awesome. I really appreciate it. And again, Katy, you and I go back so many freaking years. And super, super stoked for you. But I'm really, really stoked. Nate, Sean, and the rest of the team. Just real good. This is another new chapter 1 for all of you, and you got a long book to write. So congratulations. Best wishes for continued success. Keep on keeping on. And thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.